Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I want to talk about manifesting a specific person and self worth. This video is going to be slightly triggering to a lot of people, which is fine because sometimes when things are triggering to us, it's because they are forcing something inside of us to grow. And we want that growth. We want to learn from this. We want to be in a position where we can understand ourselves better and we can be in a better position towards this. Now, the topic of worthiness can actually go in a lot of situations, but in this video, I will just be catering to the concept of love, relationships, manifesting a specific person, manifesting your ex back, things like that. So, I'm going to start by giving you an activity. I'm going to ask you a question, and then what I want you to do is I want you to pause this video and I want you to take a piece of paper or a pen, or even in your phone, or even in your mind. I want you to find out the answers to this. The question is, what makes you worthy? Now, is it your job? Is it something that you have? Is it your house? Is it your car? Is it your ability to do 20 push ups? Is it your ability to lift a particular amount of weight? Do you feel worthy because you have a particular amount of traits, or because you have number of people who like you? Or what makes you worthy is the number of money that you have, the amount of money that you have. Pause this video here, write it down. Now, after you have done that, let's understand a few things. We are not worthy because we have these things. You're not worthy because you have a car. You're not worthy because you have love in your life and all these things. You're worthy because you exist. You're worthy because you're here. You're worthy because you were born. Now, a lot of people ask me that, Karan, you always talk about I am worthy because I'm born, but then why don't I have the things that I want? Why don't I have the relationship that I want? Why don't I have the people in my life that I want? Why is it difficult for me to believe that? Why is it difficult for love to come to me? Why do I have a lack in friendships? Why do I have a lack in all these things? So, just because I'm feeling worthy towards something doesn't mean I act that way, and doesn't mean I view the world from that lens. I'll give you a few set of examples, and we will understand the situation from there. So let's say as you're growing up, you consistently hear from everyone around you that you're not worthy because of your height. Just a random example. Even though you were worthy from the start because you're growing up in a particular manner where consistently people around you are telling you, maybe your parents say so, and then you go into your school and then someone says it there, and then people start bullying you for it, and you start believing that maybe my height is an issue. But you are still young, right? So what happens is, let's say you are not good at sports and you start to go and play a sport and you don't succeed, and maybe your father says that it's because you don't have a great height. So now you start feeling insecure about it. So earlier it was people telling you, now you tell it to yourself. Now what happens is that, let's say you now start liking a girl and you go and ask that girl out, and that girl says no, and you don't have a reason for why she said no, and probably, let's say, it had nothing to do with you. Let's say she's just not over her ex at that time, but because you're young, you don't understand these things, so you take it personally. You tell yourself that I don't know any reasons why she must have said no to me. Maybe it's because of my height. And that is where the cycle starts of making yourself feel unworthy because of something that you learned from the world. Now you have picked this one thing up where you feel unworthy because of it. So now let's say later down the line a girl comes into your life who tells you that, you know what, I am okay with your height. Now because that is something that you feel is a rejecting factor in you, you will allow this girl to treat you even in unhealthy toxic ways, because somewhere you have justified to yourself that people won't like me because of my height, and only a few people will like me, and if she's one of those few peoples, I can let go of other things just because she likes me because of my height and she accepts it. Because of these behaviors, you will have very poor boundaries, you won't have great actions, you won't be able to do things for yourself in the manner that other people do. Your expectations would be lower, you will be ignoring red flags, and you will end up being in a position where this girl walks all over you. And then you will say that, why do I attract unavailable girls? Like, why do I attract people that treat me wrong? And then you will try to manifest this person, but the truth is that if you would work on yourself, you wouldn't even like this person, because your whole liking of this person is dependent on you not feeling worthy because of it. And because you don't feel so, you have just started getting obsessed with the idea of this person. This is how usually a cycle looks, when even though you are worthy because there was nothing wrong with your height, and even if you were told so when you were younger, you did not have to believe it now. And I'm not saying that it was not difficult, I'm just saying that now you are growing up, now you are an adult, and you can take responsibility of it. But taking responsibility of it would mean that you will have to let go of all the things that you are not actually connected to because of correct reasons, but you don't want to do that. So you keep on going in a particular direction where you keep on allowing disrespectful behavior in your life. You keep on blaming this woman or women in general for this, and or you keep on blaming yourself for it, and you keep on thinking that it's something the world is just giving you, but it is your own choices. So you can be worthy of something but still convince yourself in some way that I'm not. And just because you have convinced yourself that I'm not worthy of love in this particular instance, you are in this particular situation. Now this is just one example out of thousands and thousands that I see on a daily basis, because as a coach I have a lot of exposure to a lot of people with problems when it comes to relationships, problems when it comes to these things, and their stories that they have told themselves on why it is difficult to get what they want. I recently had a session with a client where, because of her own insecurities, she had convinced herself why her parents were right about her life, and that how she shouldn't actually, like, that she doesn't deserve a great guy. And the issue with that situation was that her parents now didn't even have to convince her that she's doing it wrong or that she has to settle. She had gotten into a place where one of her criterias of how she wanted men to be was that they should accept her skin color, and because of that she consistently let go of all the other things, all the red flags, all the poor behavior that people were offering, even if they were not treating her right, just because they accepted her skin color. And the hurtful thing about when situations like these come up is that this person does not even have to be convinced by someone else now, because she's convincing herself. She has rejected herself so many times that because of this she's in this position. Now how does this connect to manifesting a specific person and love in your life? I think one thing that we all can agree with is that a person, another person in your life, can become the biggest form of addiction. We can get addicted to the attention that the other person offers, because intimate relationships make you feel things that you haven't usually felt, and make you feel a particular way that you usually don't feel, because of which we connect our self-worth to this idea. Now it can go slightly deeper, and it can be very very subtle, and it can be on the surface level. So it can start from, if this person texts me, I am worthy. If this person calls me, I am worthy. If this person accepts me, I am worthy. If she is liking my picture on Instagram, that means that that picture was good. If she is not seeing my stories, that means that my story was not good. If this person approves of my hair color, then I should get it done. If my boyfriend doesn't, or like if this guy that I like doesn't like me having physical hobbies, just like let's say painting or maybe working out, then these hobbies have no meaning. And in a very subtle and an unconscious way, and sometimes even knowingly, we connect our self-worth to the actions and the validation of another person. Now you know what the truth is that if I didn't do that, and if I was my true self, I actually would be in a place where people would love to be with me, because my authentic self is inherently worthy of it, and they don't actually have to do things to get it. That's why when a lot of people say that, you don't have to do something to get what you want. Well, but you have to stop doing things that are pulling you away from it. And sometimes to stop doing these things, you have to take counter actions that can negate the negatives that you're creating in your life. So if on a daily basis I'm consistently telling myself that I'm not worthy, and that has been ingrained in my mind, I will need to tell myself I am consistently, and I will need to make myself believe that I am consistently on a daily basis to negate that, so that I can get to the base level where I start to feel worthy of it. It also goes in a manner where if this person chooses me, then I'm chosen. If this person is not choosing me, then I'm not chosen. I think the whole video went in a slight rant, but the whole point of this video is to make you guys realize that your worth is not connected to a specific person. Just because a person is at this moment not liking you does not make you less worthy. Just because people in your life at some point have demeaned you for some qualities that they did not find acceptable, that does not mean that these aren't the qualities that you should cherish. Just because people don't accept you in particular areas of your life does not show your negligence. It shows their lack of understanding that people are different and different people can have different qualities. Just because this guy is not accepting your proposal right now does not mean that you don't have any worth. Just because your specific person is not in your life right now does not mean that you're not worthy of love and commitment. And I think that it's high time that you stop convincing yourself of that. Because as a whole, what happens is on a daily basis, you convince yourself that I only matter if I matter to this person. But that's not true, because you matter because you exist. You don't not matter just because this person is not able to see that right now. And based on this, your actions sometimes become too desperate, and it puts you into a desperate position and a state which consistently puts you down and manifests in ways where you remain loveless, which is not what I want for you. So you are worthy because you exist, and on a daily basis, do what you have to do to convince yourself of that. Because eventually, once you convince yourself of that, you don't have to do anything to get basic things in your life like love, like commitment. Because when people say that that is your birthright, that is what it means, is that once you stop convincing yourself otherwise, these things don't have trouble coming into your life. They become a byproduct of your state of being. So I hope this video helps, and I hope that you understand that you are worthy of it all. And I will see you guys in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.